J. Cole. The off season is finally here, man. Look at this shirt. Look at this shirt. Today is about J. Cole, baby. Needless to say, I've listened through this album twice already, have really dug deep into it, and I'm so excited to talk about it with you all. I'm gonna do a track-by-track breakdown of every song on the album because I think every song deserves that attention. Let's get right into it. The first song was 95 South, and J. Cole comes out swinging. The project starts off hot. No wonder that basketball hoop on the cover is on fire. You know, the beat actually reminds me of like late 2000s, early 2010s, which I love. That synth in there really is nostalgic for me. Also, F a humble brag on this intro. I mean, Cole says, look how everybody clapping when your 30-song album did a measly 100,000.
Look how everybody clapping when your 30-song album do a measly 100,000.
I mean, he's literally saying 100,000 album sales is too easy, especially in a time with streaming services. That's not easy. I pray for 100,000. I pray for 100 sales. When you think 100,000 is measly, it's like, bro, J. Cole, where you at? Where you in the sky? No, you're up in outer space. Cameron and Lil Jon on the song is a nice touch. To have two old school artists on here puts the cherry on top of the intro track for this project. I like how he switches up his flow in the second verse, and that just proves why he's legendary. You know, a lot of young rappers have one flow that they stick with. One flow, that's how they got to the top, and that's fine. That's their breadwinner, that's their money. J. Cole always switches it up, and that's what I love about this. It's like a key change in a country song or something like that. You know what I'm saying? He just absolutely switches up the flow in the second verse, and it's fire. J. Cole doesn't have one flows. His flow is infinite. Cole comes out hot on this first track. The second song on the project is Amari, and the acoustic guitar and the woodwind in this instrumental is just an absolute beautiful touch to the beat. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the beat is a little more like generic and new school than I thought J. Cole would go on, but I mean, he uses it right. You know, you could get a SoundCloud rapper on this track, on this instrumental, and I would say it just sounds like every other song, but for the fact J. Cole switches it up, has his own unique style, and he's actually talking about something profound and prodigious. I like that about this track. My goodness, that part is fire. I mean, the things that J. Cole can do with his voice impresses me so much. Love that he talks about his family turning into foe, but he's never gonna fall out with his brothers. It sounds like a classic story of, you know, family members just asking you for things because you got rich, etc. Third track is My Life, and this actually starts out very soulful with the vocal chops. I love it a lot. And it definitely starts out a little cooler than the other tracks. The other tracks come out very hot. This one, not as hot, but then it just drops into something that's very hot. You know, I love the line where he says he's gonna be selling out Wrigley after the fall off. If this is what the off season sounds like, what the hell is the fall off gonna be like? I also like how Cole is giving features on this project. You know, Maury and 21 Savage feature on here. Maury provides smooth vocals for the chorus, not surprised there, but 21 Savage does surprise me on here. I don't think this is normally a beat 21 would go on, but this is honestly one of my favorite guest verses I've heard from 21 Savage, and I don't really listen to 21 Savage that much, but he honestly surprised me here. He sounds so good, no auto-tune, and you know, he gets profound about his life, his parents. Mad props to 21 Savage. Fourth track is Applying Pressure, and I really love this one too. You got a classic old school beat here, and the first three tracks were kind of had some new school aspects to them, you know, with the 808s, the drum patterns, but I was waiting for a song like this. You know, he's got more internal rhymes on this track than the first three. Hip hop heads are gonna love Applying Pressure. They're gonna love this track, and you know, he's being really real with this one, which seems to be a common theme throughout this whole album, is being real. You know, he's saying it's okay to live check to check, but be real about it and, you know, talk about it. You know, he says broke rappers quit capping, you know, like don't talk about the money, the girls you have, the cars you have. Don't be so materialistic. If you're broke, you know, talk about that. Be real to yourself. And when you're real to yourself, people will respect you and the music more. He's talking about applying pressure to people that are fake and live more of a real life, which is really cool coming from someone like J. Cole. Next track is Punchin' the Clock, and this has a Dame Lillard interview sample in there, which I think is really cool. I actually think Dame is a really good rapper. I'm kind of surprised he didn't have a verse on here when the interview was in there, but interview's a nice touch to this track. But the the song is a very visual story about violence that J. Cole has seen. And it's really about how he's kind of paranoid of what it seems like is the system. You know, he talks about having nightmares from a demon, assuming it's, you know, the police that have apprehended him. So it seems like he's having some nightmares about this, and possibly the system is what I'm gathering from it. But I do love how these old school tracks on this album are like one verse, just straight old school. I think it's awesome. Track 6 is 100 mil, and I love the samples Cole uses here. His samples are always fire. I don't know how he gets them cleared or how he finds them, but they're always soulful and they're always really pleasant to listen to. You got strings in here, which I love on hip hop beats. Anytime you got strings in there, I approve. The vocal chops are nice, but I will say, this song is good. It's melodic. But I feel like this hook in this song is a little too like generic for Cole, right? Maybe? I don't know. I mean, right, it's good, it's smooth, like you can definitely vibe to it, but I feel like Cole could have delivered it differently. I don't know. Let me know what you think about this chorus. I feel like a lot of people are gonna love it. I just felt like maybe it could have had like a stronger delivery, or maybe even a little too much auto-tune for someone like J. Cole, but it is out of his box, so props to Cole for that. Love when rappers get out of their comfort zone. And I like how he says life isn't about money, it's about more time. It's a good message to give, but it's definitely one of my least favorite songs on this project. Next song is Pride.is.the.devil, and this honestly flipped around and it was one of my favorite songs on this project. And this is the perfect example of Cole being amazing lyrically and melodically. And you know, he talks about more violence he's seen. This seems to be a common theme throughout this project at this point, is the violence he's seen, the nightmares he's having from the violence and all the pain that it has caused him. He's being very vulnerable here, and you all know I love when a rapper becomes vulnerable because it shows emotion and it shows they're a real person. It's almost like J. Cole loves to say he's on top because it's the truth, but he still talks about being so humble, and he is, and I think that's what makes him not only a great artist, but a great human being. Not gonna lie, Lil Baby on this track surprised me heavily, but I think it's one of the better guest verses I've heard from Lil Baby. He rocked this beat more than he rocked a lot of his own, which, you know, is really nice to hear. It was just a little different beat for Lil Baby, but I liked it. Yeah, next track is Let Go My Hand. First off, one of my favorite beats on here. It's very nice, smooth, jazzy. It got a little lo-fi-y aspect to it, something in there. Cole here is questioning his art, and you know, he wonders if it even matters putting it out in the universe. And Cole, I'll tell you right now, it does. Someone like J. Cole is so influential, so of course it matters, but as an artist, you might not even think about it. You know, he is just a human too, as we've touched upon throughout this whole review and discussion. He also touches on religion and how he's dabbled in a few religions, which I commend him for. I don't think you should be stuck in a box of a religion you've grown up with. Yes, you can always go back to that, but experience all the religions you can. You know, you might find out you might like another religion you never even knew about. Now, this track became instantly famous for talking about his beef with Puff Daddy. You know, how he used to admire him, then they had beef, and you know, these huge celebrities are people too, and they may not be what we think they are like growing up. You might admire someone once you meet them, they might not be what we think they are. Now, Puff Daddy has an outro on this track. It's like he's sending up a prayer on this track, and it's like they've already forgiven each other for whatever scrapping or beef they had before. And I think it's ironic, and I think it's poetic, and I think it's beautiful. Next song we had was Interlude, which we already reviewed, fire track, and the track 10 is the.climb.back, which was a single, which I believe we talked about at some point, which we already know. It's fire. Not one of my favorite songs on it, but still a classic Cole track. Track 11 is Close, and I like how he first off says Illmatic, which obviously Illmatic by Nas is one of the greatest hip-hop albums of all time, so the fact he's saying that, he's setting his standards high before it's even out, because he just knows he's becoming one of the greatest rappers. Another classic old school song. You know, he's talking about hope a lot, which is another common theme on this album. He talks about facades and plastic lives a lot on this project. Once again, it's nice to hear from someone so influential. He also keeps talking about these extremely visual moments of just pure violence that he's had in his life. And it's like how he keeps having dreams about it, you know? It's like he has PTSD. He even says in the song, like, he woke up, reached for his phone, and he keeps having these nightmares, and he's just so descriptive about the storytelling and these visual moments of violence in his life that he's went through and the pain that it's been causing. He's very descriptive, and I think that's what makes him one of the best. Final song on the project is Hunger on the Hillside. Got some beautiful strings on there, samples fire as always. This song's very inspiring to me. Keeps talking about how money ain't really the answer and how it's more about time, and you just have to keep grinding through the pain, grinding through your trials and tribulations. Love the melody and the flow and the delivery on this track. They're very strong. That's the best way to put it for this track. James Fauntleroy and Boz provide amazing vocals for this track. I love James Fauntleroy. And it's a great wrap up for the project. It's another common theme of being real and true. So final score time. I've only given 2 9s or higher in the history of my channel, but this album project is it's a 9.5 out of 10. You know, Cole's use of imagery and descriptive language within these poetic rap verses are immaculate. And his common themes of being true to yourself and the plastic lives that people brag about, the pain of violence, religion, and money, all of these themes combine to make a fantastic story. His penmanship is out of this world, and he just goes above and beyond compared to every other rapper out there right now. It's like these songs are just pieces of a puzzle that fit together perfectly and create and provide a full body of growth in J. Cole. I don't care what anyone says, he is a top rapper between the freestyle he just released and this project. We can no longer deny that he is on top of the rap game. My favorite songs on this project are Amari, Applying Pressure, Pride.is.the.devil, and Let Go My Hand, and my favorite Cole album since 2014, Forest Hills Drive. But what are your thoughts on this J. Cole project? Does it live up to the hype? Do you love this project? Let me know your favorite songs and your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you so much for coming by to the video. If you liked the video, hit a like and subscribe to the channel if you love talking music just as much as I do. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitch, and Twitter at EJSpark1, and as always, you know what it is. It's peace, love, I love s'mores. EJ, out.